Hello everyone. In this episode, we want to talk about editor scripting. It's something like editor scripting in Unity, but in Unreal, and a kind of different methods. I mean, there are multiple ways to interact with the editor. I'm just going to show you 3-4 ways to you can call your method in the editor, for example, or you can create a user interface just for the editor, and hope you guys going to find it helpful and they're use it in your project. So let's dive into it. I have a sample project. It's going to be a empty project actually, with a starter content only, and it doesn't have anything special. So first I'm going to create a folder for myself. So I'm going to say that editor utility, for example, just a folder to be there. Then I'm going to create blueprint. Okay, now the blueprint, that's the folder that I want to just, that also map, I guess, is also important. Just say save it in this case into this map. Save current as so editor utility. So it's going to blueprint maps is going to be, I'm going to call it main. Yeah, save in here. So then blueprint, I'm going to, the first things, the easiest way is to call your methods from call your functions directly from a blueprint. So blueprint class actor, and I'm going to say BP controller. The BP controller, when I'm going through it, I'm going to, very easy, I'm going to just find the function, make a function, and I'm going to say that sample function, and sample function, I'm going to make it print to hello, and in this sample function I'm going to click on it, and then here is as call in editor. Save it, getting back to the main window, add it to the hierarchy. So I have it in here, and I have default in the sample function. I can also change the category to just be neat. I'm going to just get it with config. So getting back, I'm going to see here, and I'm going to do config and sample function. When I call it, it's going to be hello, and if I go to play mode, okay, then I need to find it again. It's going to be BP controller, and if I just call it again, hello. So in both ways it's going to work, but remember that not all the things is going to work, so just be careful. For example, if you say change level and then you're not in a play mode, it's not going to work. So one thing. The other one is that you are going to just, you have a function, okay, we just showed it, but what about just a simple custom event? In a custom event, you're going to call it, for example, my sample event, and my sample event is going to be print something, just print hello 2. I'm going to say call in editor, but you cannot give it any category, can you? No, you cannot. So it's going to be my sample event. You're going to get these kind of icon into it, and when you select it again, you're going to have another one in default. My sample event hello 2 is going to work, and if you go to play mode, you need to find it again, the controller, my sample event is going to work again. So that's another way that you can call something in the editor. The other method is scripted actions. There is, when you right click the content browser, there's a category editor utilities. You have two possibilities: editor utility blueprint that you need to inherit from a class, and the other one, editor utility widget, that you're going to create a user interface just only for the editor. Let's go through them. Editor utility blueprint. So I'm going to click on it. You need to just you have 64 possibilities. I'm going to show you 3 of them. So asset action utilities, if you want to go and modify anything or call a function on assets. Asset, which means what you have in the content browser. But you have also actor action utility. Actor, which means anything that you have in the outline hierarchy, word outliner, and also in the viewport. So let's just go for the actor actions. utility first. I'm going to call it blueprint EditorUtil actor. So I'm going to go through it. It's going to be function, so I'm going to just call it function. Okay, then in the function is automatically has called an editor, so I'm going to just rename it to my sample method, for example, 2 in this case. So what I'm going to do is that give me the name of the asset, for example, something easy, when the asset that I've just clicked on, because it works like if I just, for example, come to here and then say that hello for example, something like this. Then if I get back to the main window, so I need an actor. So if I just click that, and then it's going to be a scripted actions, my sample method, I'm going to just get hello for. Or if I just come to here, for example, char, still I have that. If I just right click on here, I have that. I have an everything. So it's not restricted to that. So let's just get the name of it. For example, the char. Okay, get the name of it. So in this case, I'm going to just say this detach the execution line, print a string. Then I'm going to say that get actors, get selected actors, get selected actors, and then get selected actors. It can be anything, okay, but you can just also do for each of them. Then you're going to, doesn't matter, just gonna get display name you want, display name, and you want to just put it in here. So I'm going to make it a straight, come to here, and then come to here, and then come to here, and I come to here. Okay, so let's see. If I just call the char, come to here, I'm going to get the char. If I light source, I'm going to get the light source, the name of the actor. So but let's just, there is possibility to just, for example, we want to right click and we want to see this option when it is a static mesh, not, for example, light source. We can also do that. We can also, by going to function, override get supported class. Get supported class, you're going to get something like this. Get supported class from the parent, you're going to delete it, and then now you have the option to do it in here. So for example, a static mesh actor. And then now it's going to happen only on a static mesh actors. You're going to see it, you're going to get the name, but atmosphere fog, it is not there, or on light source, it is not there anymore. So that's another one. And yeah, let's go to the other types. Editor utility, this one, this one was the actor. Now I'm going to say that assets action utility. Blueprint, editor util, and assets. So the assets, I'm going to just function, and then I'm going to just say print in this case, and then I'm saying that y, for example, just something that's just we quickly can get it in here. So it doesn't matter, but you cannot, of course, add. It is not this one because we named it what? We named the function new function. So let's just say my sample function 3, we call it. So if I come in the asset, which means that on the content browser, for example, right click on this one, scripted action, my sample function 3, I click on it, y is just there. So that's but you can still, for example, you have materials, you do not want the actors, you want materials, you can go to get supported class and then delete this one, and then say that just only to materials or the material instance. Then if you click on that, you're not going to see it anymore. But if you go to the store account, for example, find some materials, for example, this one, you find it, and then you can execute your method. another thing, if I just come back to here, function, the other one, if you want to get it, it was something like get selected actors. It's just easy. If you want to get selected assets, get selected assets, that if you want to get the selected that you have just selected in your content browser. So that's another type of the class. And also it's good to mention that if I go to my blueprint, this is the only blueprint, this is a normal blueprint, okay? If I right click, if I go to development, A, B, C, D, development, okay, I have access to these things, and just editor, and I'm going to create a copy for undo buffer, a stack trace, for example. If I go to one of these classes that they are editor utility classes, or if I right click and go to development and editor, and you are seeing that I have more options to play with. One thing. Second of all, the other thing, editor category, editor scripting, and you have also have these categories that you can use for editor scripting. The other one, if I go back to the normal actor, if I go to editor scripting, and then you are seeing that I have only two categories, and then I do not have so many options as the other one. So that's what I'm saying, that if you want to, these classes giving you access to more functionalities in the blueprint. That's the normal actor normal actors do not give you that. So pay attention to it. The other thing that I can mention is that, okay, if you have a function in a blueprint and you want to call it on editor startup, so content, editor utility, blueprints, this one, again, you're going to editor utilities, editor utility blueprints, and this one you need to get a class as editor utility object, and I'm going to just bp editor util object. So editor utility object, there is only one function, which is run. So you're going to call it run, and then you call it print, for example, and then you, for example, you call it y, so many y's in this case. Or afterwards, you're going to just may spawn actor from class. Spawn actor from class in the middle, and then what class? For example, cube. Is there any cube? Scene capture cube? No. Static mesh actor. A static mesh actor, but we need to know what kind of a static mesh actor you want to just get. So if I just say spawn actor from object, and then if I just say cube, I have in here, if you give me a static mesh, so I'm going to just access it, and I do not need this one, not from class but from object. So yes, so I have something like, so I'm going to print something to the log, and also after that I'm going to, in the middle of the screen, I'm going to just spawn a cube. Let's see how it goes. So, and also I want to just call this method automatically when the editor starts. So I'm going to, what I need to do, I need to just find myself in the Explorer, content, and utility config, folder config. Then I need a file, then an ini file called DefaultEditorPerProjectUserSettings.ini. I'm going to create a text file like this, and then say okay, DefaultEditorPerProjectUserSettings. Okay, then I'm going to open it. Okay, then I am going to open it. It's going to be something like that. I've just already prepared it, something like that. So all the times you need something like this, Utility, Editor Utility Subsystems, a startup project game, and then you need to just go to your project. So I'm going to just say, be sure that I have that. So I'm going to just content, after content, Editor Utility. So it's going to be Editor Utility, but is different. So it's going to be after that, it needs to be blueprint. In here also blueprint, okay. And then the name of the class, which is going to be object. This one is going to be also the extension is going to be itself. Then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to, okay, then I'm going to save the project as well, and I'm going to, yes, I'm going to quit it. So I'm going to go to the, I'm going to run it again. I'm going to run it again, and then let's see whether we are going to, whether it's going to get executed on a startup or not. But this is kind of something that if whenever you want to take care of something in your editor, and all the times should look the same whenever you're closing the project and opening it again. So you're seeing the cube in the middle, and if you go to the outliner, where is this outline? Go to the outline output, sorry, you're going to see this Y as well, this message. So that means it was successfully gets called. And the last things I would like to just mention is Editor Utilities, Editor Utility Widget, and then I'm going to be going to do W blueprint, so widget blueprint, blueprint. So it's going to be Editor Util, for example. Then I'm going to open it. You have, it's like exactly like user interface. I'm going to, for example, add vertical box to it. And in the vertical box, I'm going to add some buttons. One buttons and the second buttons. Oh, no. Yep, something like that. It is text for the first one, text for the second one. For the first one, I'm going to just add the background, just change it a little bit. For the other one as well, you can also, you can be creative, of course. I think you can delete this one, and you can duplicate that better. Then for the text, you can just say that button 1, and button 2. Button 2. So, and in here you can just call it button 1 and button 2. Then compile it into, you have a graph, everything like user interface. Button 1, unclick, button 2, unclick, just print something. Hello, or the button 1, and then the same thing for the button 2. For the same thing for the button 2. Yeah, so now that you have the buttons, you're going to just get back to the editor and right click on it, run Editor Utility Widget. Now you have that editor button 1, button 2, button 1, and button 2. So remember that if you're for example, if you're even in the runtime mode and you want to change the scene with these buttons, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if you put it on an actor and you're in a runtime mode, and then you use these buttons that I showed you, blueprint controller. Where's the blueprint controller? Didn't I add it to here? Blueprint controller. If you just add this one, if you called on this one, and then change the scene, for example, on it, and then you are in the runtime mode, is going to work. So you need to pay attention. Then the other type is that when you have created something, okay, then you come to window, and then you have this editor utility widgets, and you're going to list all of the editor utility widget that you have created. You're going to select on it, and it's going to come to here. You can also attach it and dock it somewhere. There's the button 1, button 2, and then have it all the times with yourself. And as I mentioned, that is just you're free to just use anything in the graph that you want. Editor, for example, input list, miscellaneous optimization panel, primitive. There are so many that they're listed in here, and you can use them in your advantage. You're absolutely free what you want to do for the editorial scripting. So I hope you guys find this tutorial helpful and is going to be handy for your project to create some buttons in your Unreal Editor to just call your functions easier than before. I wish you a happy day. Take care. Stay safe.